Well, hello and welcome everyone. Thanks for joining us today. My name is Terry Bell and I handle some of the product marketing and onboarding here at sMedia. I'm a creative writer by training, having spent years writing and producing television ads, helping auto dealers grow their brand and expand their business. Um, so for our webinar today, I've compiled research on the subject of leads. I hope in the next 30 minutes, you'll have a few takeaways that might improve quality lead generation at your dealership. So let's dig into it. Every dealer is looking to either increase leads, improve the quality of leads, or convert more leads. Now, no matter what your goal is, there's no single thing that will guarantee success. Lead generation comes from improving every part of the customer experience at every stage in the funnel. So today we'll talk about the sources your leads are coming from, what can help, what can hurt you in gathering leads, and how to improve your offers. We'll also take a brief look at sMedia Smart Offer, which can help you deploy an offer anywhere on your website, anytime, deployable in minutes. We'll leave some time for Q&A at the end, but I expect this to be a quick and informative session today. So what is a lead? Seems like a silly question, but the truth is that the term lead applies differently to different people. So for the purposes of this webinar, what do I mean by lead? Well, number one, it's a revenue opportunity, whether it be sales, service, parts, or vehicle acquisition. In automotive, most lead collection opportunities are revenue related. A lead is not an engagement on a website like a click. It's generally a chat, a call, or a form fill that involves the capturing of personal information that can be used by the dealer's sales or BDC team, typically a name, number, or email. So when we talk about leads from the perspective of digital marketing, we're talking about leads whose sources originate from online activity. Now, some online shoppers will never be a lead. And that's because they won't share their personal information, but they may just show up at your dealership. Now, this is data from a Google presentation. It quotes the percentage of car sales that don't involve a lead. This may be different from your dealership experience. It's an average Google obtained from their study. And now I'm one of these individuals. I bought my last two vehicles without providing any leads to dealers that I bought from. I did all my shopping and research online, and then I showed up at the dealership. Now, I did submit a lead to a dealer, but I didn't purchase from them. It took 4 days for them to get back to me, and I moved on. So this presentation will cover information that can help you convert more, but also may help you convert walk-ins that you didn't even know about. Now, unless you're buying leads from a company that sells lists, your leads are going to come from two potential sources: your third-party sites like Trader, Cars.com, CarGurus, Kijiji, and your marketing efforts, which include platforms like Google and Meta, but also your website and SEO efforts. Now, some of these leads will come directly to your sales or BDC team, or the traffic will flow through your website and convert that way. A healthy funnel will likely include leads from both types of sources, as an overdependence on a single source type comes with risk. Now, diversification is a great way to mitigate that risk while you work to refine your strategy by measuring your best performers. So your mix could change as you measure and refine. Now, there are a ton of choices when it comes to lead and traffic sources, and the truth is there's no universal best choice when it comes to that mix. Platforms, vendors, and tactics perform differently depending on your location, market size, brand, audience, etc. There's no silver bullet. So the first rule of improving lead generation is measure your results. So there's a lot of third-party marketplaces providing leads. Let's start there. Most dealers feel like they can't sell without them, and few have the budget to be on all of them at once. There's a ton of industry discussion right now on whether a dealer really needs to be on these sites. That maybe their money is better spent bringing the shopper direct to their site during the search process instead of sharing space with competitors in a marketplace that rewards the lowest price competitor. And brand doesn't account for much. My answer to that debate is simple: measure results. Third-party sites can be complicated to measure because you get leads directly, but also you receive referral traffic. So if we're going to measure, let's start with the measurable direct value to your dealership, and that's the leads that convert to a sale. So what we're showing here is by calculating the cost per sale from a third party, you can determine if the value it brings is a good return on investment. In this example, the source is providing a sale for an investment of $250. If a third party does well with this equation, it's a number you're happy with, then you can look at the referral traffic and just call it a bonus and carry on. But if they fall short in that value, the cost to sell a vehicle from those converted leads is too high, you may need to rely on a well-executed GA4 measurement strategy and or an attribution platform like sMedia's Attributely to determine the value of the referral traffic. So if you can determine the sales influence of that traffic, you can decide if that referral traffic generates enough sales opportunity to overlook the poorer performing performance you might see on the converted leads. If your return on investment on that third party is unacceptable after that analysis, you've looked at both, then your marketing budget may yield better outcomes used elsewhere. So by measuring and moving budgets to higher performing sources, you can increase your quality leads while maintaining your budgets. So a side note here, it's important to recognize that not all leads are created equal. If you have a lead source that provides 300 leads with perhaps 15 that close, that's not necessarily better than a source that only gives you 30 leads, but 12 of them close. So your teams need to work those leads. That takes internal capacity, that costs you money. So it's important when we're talking about leads to consider quality over quantity. And that's why measuring outcomes is vital. Now, it should be said that this approach does require process and effort, but it's worth it. Now, if you are a dealer that does buy lists, lead lists, evaluate them based on the number of leads that close, not the number of leads. Again, we should be more concerned about the quality over the quantity. Now, when leads come through the website, it's easy to track those leads on the forms, but not necessarily the sources that are generating that opportunity. And your traditional metrics don't give you the data you need to really refine your approach to maximize your return on investment. So we recommend having a robust GA4 measurement strategy and supplementing with an attribution platform that can help you determine the traffic sources that are leading to those conversions. Be sure to A/B test your call to actions, track conversion statistics on your tools and forms. And again, the focus is on outcomes. If we can understand the circumstances that produce the leads, we can reform our strategies around maximizing investment in the sources supporting your sustained quality lead generation. My dad was a carpenter. So I have this old carpenter adage, measure twice, cut once. Measurement's really the most effective way to improve your lead strategy. The market has been far from predictable the past few years. I think we can all agree on that. So you can't rely on your raw sales numbers month over month or year over year to determine success. Really being able to dig in and measure the quality and the outcomes is going to help your lead strategy. Does SEO play a role in leads? You bet it does. Leads don't come from shoppers that can't find you. So a good SEO provider can help you rank higher and influence searches. Organic traffic is free, and it's also some of the highest quality traffic you'll receive. So SEO can help with audience building as well. So advice, don't neglect your SEO performance in your quest to get more and better leads. Let's talk about the customer experience. A huge key to garnering leads on your website is the customer experience. A poor customer experience can cause you to lose lead opportunities that you might not even be aware exist. So for many shoppers, their first impression of your dealership will be formed for their online interaction with your website. So here's 5 quick tips to make sure that customer experience is positive. Number 1, shoppers have high expectations. They want the exact thing they're looking for to be instantly available and easy. And the easier you make it for them to have that kind of experience, the better. Keep the website design simple, attractive. Don't overcrowd your site. Have an appealing theme and segment it so shoppers can easily find and explore the purpose of their visit. Website's so important. Call to actions and menus should be clean, easy to read, and clear. And make sure your website is designed to be comfortable to use on mobile. Sometimes the aesthetics that we think look really great on desktop don't port over cleanly to the handheld experience. And that's becoming a huge huge, overwhelming percentage of users' experience now is the handheld experience. Number two, don't waste the shopper's time. Make sure there's a search bar on the homepage and the search results page, and ensure it's optimized to go to the landing pages that are relevant. For a shopper, there's nothing more frustrating than getting redirected somewhere irrelevant. So again, design coming in very important here. Now, if a shopper likes a particular car, they should be able to get in contact with you in any way they want, in the simplest way possible, without the effort of trying to figure out how. So make sure your forms, your chat, or any click to call options are clearly displayed and easily accessed. More importantly, and this is extra work, but it's worth it, confirm that these pathways work regularly. Anyone who's experienced this knows how devastating it is to discover the reason you haven't seen leads come in for a while is because there's some kind of website issue or an issue with the form, and you've just missed out on opportunity. Four, giving shoppers the option to save a car, use a wish list, or engage with a good trade tool are not only great ways to capture leads, but you're perceived as being helpful to the shopper with those experiences. It doesn't feel like you're trying to get their information. It just feels like you're trying to be helpful. So we'd be remiss if we didn't briefly talk about how leads are handled on and off your website. So here's a few statistics for you to consider about how leads are handled. A very important part about the customer experience and making sure those leads go somewhere. 78% of customers purchase from the first responder on a lead. Conversion rates are 8 times higher in the first 5 minutes. Customers expect email replies within a day or less. And responding to leads after 30 minutes is 21 times less effective than getting to them in the first 30. So take a good long look at the lead handling process. Even if this isn't your department at the dealership, test it, challenge the process with some different scenarios to see how the dealership team handles it. If you're getting feedback that we just need more leads, pushing more leads through a constricted, underperforming, or under-resourced funnel is going to amount to limited results. I found a really good resource on this topic from Podium. Anyone that's signed up for this webinar, you'll get that link and you can dig into this topic a little bit further if you're interested. So let's talk about some worst practices. Number one, I hate this one, drives me nuts, monopolizing information. Now, some believe that hiding the prices or features forces the shopper to fill a lead in order to learn more information, and you'll get a lot of leads that way. The question that should be asked is not how many leads they got, it's how many they missed out on. How many shoppers have they lost through this practice? This practice really turns off shoppers. It gives them the impression that the dealer is hiding something, and they are. So transparency is trust, and people are more likely to trust you with their personal information, like a lead, and their purchase, if they trust you through this process. Now, there's a ton of research out there how to merchandise vehicles. 90% of customers say photos are an essential aspect of their shopping journey. New car listings using actual photos are 30% more likely to get a lead, and the likelihood increases to 40% when we're talking about used and certified vehicles with actual photos. And VDP visitors who interact with photos are 16% more likely to submit an inventory lead than those who do not interact with photos. So you're not likely to buy something with bad pictures on Amazon, so why would we expect a car shopper to behave any differently than that? Now, while actual photos perform 3 times better than stock photos perform better than no photos. So if you have a vehicle in transit, even 3 stock photos of the unit will be more impactful than a generic coming soon image. So investing in getting images up quickly as possible with new arrivals, even if it's as simple as equipping your lot staff with camera phones so you can get those live photos up quickly, is going to help. Now, when it comes to contacting the dealership, if their contact info is hard to find or poorly labeled, you might lose that lead or at least lose the confidence of the shopper. So make sure you're not burying your contact links in the footer. Lastly, if your navigation's awkward, the listings are broken, or they're difficult to go through. You're creating friction for the shopper. Keep things clean and simple. Don't overload your site with offers and competing widgets. And this one I've actually noticed quite a bit. Make sure your chat doesn't overlay some of your call to action buttons or navigation. Sometimes when we add these tools, they actually start to interfere with the interactivity of other parts of the site, and that's a problem. We want to avoid that. These small details that make shopping difficult or they're bad luck. They could send your shoppers elsewhere. So the goal, as always, is to try to provide that frictionless experience for them. So, what should be in a VDP? They should have clean design, easy to find details, vehicle options and descriptions, and as mentioned, lots of high quality photos. So if you can offer the shopper even more in their shopping experience, like 360-degree views or walk around video, that can be helpful to increase engagement and the likelihood the shopper chooses to interact with you. So higher engagement levels lead to more leads and sales. Photos aside, what should a VDP have? A simple layout. Don't overcomplicate the shopping experience. If you have too many call to actions or widgets, this can overwhelm the shopper. So keep it clean and don't repeat yourself. The shopper doesn't need 4 buttons that do the same thing. You don't need 4 finance buttons, all slightly labeled differently. It's much better to keep it clean and simple for them. As studies show that too many choices can lead to choice paralysis, meaning that they choose not to act, that they won't fill in a lead. The bonus of having less call to actions, cleaner layouts, they actually load faster and they're more mobile friendly. So that could also help you keep all your call to actions above the fold. Make it easy to find included options on the vehicle. Don't bury them. Don't make it difficult to find. Provide clear, easy to find access to a trade tool, financing, possibly a payment calculator. There should be a clear way to contact the dealership that the shopper won't miss. Now, a quick note on search results pages. Less is more. Be mindful of the stage in the shopping journey the visitor is in. They're browsing. Don't overcrowd the search results page with too many call to actions, too much information, or too many offers. The focus should be on helping them find the right piece of inventory. Now let's talk about the call to actions, or CTA for short. CTAs may appear on the home page, the search results page, a vehicle display page, in your service or parts pages. So it's important to be mindful of where on the site the shopper is and that the call to action reflect that in both the messaging and the form. So it should go without saying, but make sure your CTA matches the terminology used on your lead form. If they don't match, you could confuse the shopper and they may be hesitant to convert for fear of being in the wrong place. So if the button says value your trade, the form shouldn't say financing, as an example. Try to keep those CTAs above the fold. It isn't always possible with a mobile experience, so make sure your CTAs are all visible at once on a mobile. So you shouldn't have to scroll to see more CTAs. The CTAs should fit within that single screen on mobile. Make sure they stand out. Obey, obviously, your OEM requirements, but make sure your CTA stand out visually using color and location effectively. And lastly, I repeat for emphasis, keep it simple. Studies show having less CTAs lead to higher conversion rates. Now, the messaging in your call to action, make sure it's compelling. So here's a few tips. Keep it short, clear, interesting. Most importantly, ask yourself, would I click on that? You could use strong command verbs to start, save with rebate now, get your price. Some words are more motivating than others if they imply a benefit or a sense of urgency. So words like save, special, now. Give them a reason. Make sure the call to action is motivating to the shopper. Get creative, try new things, and A/B test to find out what's working best with you. So to summarize, make improvements to the customer experience at every stage of the journey and measure results. Make changes based on that measurement and then measure again. Measure twice, cut once. So that concludes the first part of our presentation. Throughout, I mentioned measurement being a vital part of improving lead quality and generation. sMedia offers a tool that can help dealers determine sales influence, connecting the dots between traffic and sales. And customers can talk to their customer success manager if they're interested in this product. If you aren't a customer, I encourage you to go to attributely.com or email sales@smedia.ca. Um, for anyone interested, we also have a free GA4 audit that you might find informative and helping verify if your setup is compliant with the Automotive Standards Council specifications on GA4. So I'm just going to take a couple minutes to quickly go through our lead tool, Smart Offer. Smart Offer can help supplement or replace offers and lead presentation on your website. It's a self-serve tool that lets you deploy offers or forms anywhere on your site, anytime in minutes. Now, many dealers find that their website provider doesn't give them the flexibility to handle lead management the way that they want to, or at the pace they're looking for. And Smart Offer is a tool that allows you to present the right offer at the right time on your terms. Offers can appear on any time delay. They can be mapped to a button on your site. They can appear on any page like home, VDPs, SRPs, any page you choose. The offer takes the form of a lead form, messaging without a form, but you can also host a redirect button on that. You can also provide video anywhere you want with a Smart Offer. It all happens on a self-serve dashboard, so there's no waiting on someone to get back to you. You have full control of timing, placement, lead form details, and color. You can customize the email that gets sent upon receipt of a form fill. We can provide you with an array of preset creative for your offer, or you can provide the creative. We also create up to one custom form per month included with the service, but our team can also create additional customized creative for you on request for a modest fee. Now, the best part about Smart Offer is how quickly you can deploy. You can have a marketing meeting and post a new offer before the meeting's even done. If you want to improve the quality and qualify your leads, the Smart Profiler form allows you to ask questions prior to providing a form. So this allows dealers to creatively use the feature in sales, service, and parts. Even your office manager or HR representative can benefit by providing an easy way for prospective future employees to upload their resume directly to a form. With the supply dashboard, you can make changes on the fly, deploy new offers in minutes, and manage a plethora of different strategies, and also track the lead performance. Now, if you're interested, Smart Offer is only $190 a month. We can also provide case studies proving the value that large auto groups have seen with this product. That's it for the presentation. We can open up to some Q&A. I'd like to introduce Devin. He's our Manager of Customer Success. If anyone has any follow-up questions on anything we've gone through, I've spoken lots very quickly. I hope it wasn't too fast. Hey, Devin, how you doing?
Doing well, Terry. Thanks for the introduction. We got a couple questions in the Q&A box. So we'll start with the first one. The first question is, what are the most successful call to actions that we have seen?
Yeah, so that's the weird thing with CTAs is that it really does vary. You can find that a CTA works really well in a rural market and doesn't perform so well in an urban and vice versa. So I'll actually provide some resources that go specifically into some of these call to actions and some suggestions and provide some of that evidence for you to have a look at.
And then the second question that we have is, what are some of the best performing smart offers that we've seen?
You want to take that one, Devin?
For sure. So working with the customer success team, we manage a team of several hundred clients. There's definitely a variety of different smart offers that we see across the board for all of our customers. So some offers that typically work really well is financial incentives off of a vehicle. So for example, if it's $200 off of a vehicle or $500 off of a vehicle, really making sure that based on the price of the vehicle that's listed online, many customers are now trained within what's happened with COVID, that many dealerships are essentially having little to no perceived wiggle room on negotiations on the price of a vehicle. So being able to lead with that with that incentive or with that spiff not only shows that you're able to work and provide a little bit of extra incentive to the customer, but as well showing that you're willing to able to pass them along or give the customer the best deal. Some of the other smart offers that we've seen that typically perform well, this can be related to either power sports or even RV dealerships, where, say, if you're looking to sell a trailer and that customer is a first-time trailer buyer, maybe giving them a trailer hitch and a certain parts and service credit at the dealership will not only ensure that they're taken care of, but also if there's any specific products or camping supplies that they need, that they can not only purchase it, but they can purchase it from your dealership. So not only managing the relationship from the salesperson and selling the customer that unit, but you can also bring them back and be able to then sell them more product at the store. This would also be similar approach to even parts and service credits or even extended warranties as well. This is those are just a few examples of what we typically see that works well.
So next question here, are there any specific campaigns that help with leads? I think we're all familiar with lead specific campaigns, but those are really hit and miss for dealers. They can sometimes not be very successful at all. I would say, and I don't know if you'll back this up, Devin, but search. I think the most important thing is when someone starts looking for a vehicle that they find you. The best chance of getting a lead is for the shopper to actually find your dealership. Not everyone's going to convert, but if you can get them on your website and they're coming to you, you've got a much better chance of getting that lead than any other campaign.
Nope, I would definitely second that recommendation as well.
Okay, so last question here. Recommend a DR tool to generate leads.
So, can we specify DR? I'm not familiar with that acronym. I apologize.
Digital retailing, yeah. I should have
Gotcha.
assumed, yeah.
So I mean, there's definitely a variety of different options.
Yeah.
I would point that specific question to your customer success manager or reach out to us on just within a separate conversation. There's many different retailing tools that work quite well, all depending on the specific use and application that your dealership would be looking for, just to make sure that we're able to point you in the right direction.
And we got one last question here. We're running out of time, but we spoke about vendors like AutoTrader and our attribution tool. Do we have any examples of how dealerships have made any decisions that have helped them save money on their marketing using the tool? This tool, yeah. Yeah, I can think of a specific one where using Attributely, a dealer was able to determine that they weren't getting anything like the leads that converted were very low and they weren't happy with that return on investment. So they were interested in investigating how well they did with the referral traffic that was coming, because that was the answer that came to them. And we don't want to pick specifically on AutoTrader here. It was just an example. And what they found was that it wasn't converting, that the opportunity wasn't converting into a lot of meaningful sales influence. So they made a decision to reduce their spend with that particular vendor and increase spend in other areas, and they were successful in increasing their leads. So we are a minute over time, so I am going to wrap this up. If you have any questions at all, please reach out to, if you're a customer, your customer success manager. If you're not, reach out to us at sales@smedia.ca. We'd be happy to answer all your questions. We're here to help. So thanks for attending today. I hope you have found this helpful, informative, and look forward to answering any questions you might have in the future. Thanks, Devin.
Great. Thanks, Terry. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.